Thank
Great.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Also share your GitHub profiles in the side. कोई और social नहीं इस time पे GitHub.
Okay, 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 okay. Great. Updated, just updated, fresh, fresh, new.
So ये वाले event का so today's events, what's the agenda of today's event?
Today we are gonna design and develop the whole Let's Live the Web website from the scratch, and it is a collaborative coding. So basically, it's not like me coding and you all just listening to me. You all will be sharing your own, opinions and coding live. Maybe if you can join the VS Code session, and you can. Okay, I have shared the GitHub link of the repo. Yeah,
एक सेकंड ये जो जैसे इवेंट का लिख के आ रहा है बीच में ऐसे ये हट जाएगा खुद या फिर मतलब हटाना पड़ेगा ऐसे लिख के आ रहा है बीच में ऑन द स्क्रीन है ना सबको दिख रहा होगा अपकमिंग इवेंट लाइव
अब ये हट जाएगा
हाँ हट गया
yeah it's gone
yeah so here's a GitHub repo I just shared and just go there and you can fork it or start it whatever and now we'll be starting designing the whole website so abhi ke liye as you can see if I can share my screen Acha, how many of you here are like in beginning in web development
I'm first.
मैं भी हूँ beginning में हूँ
Yeah, it's me too.
Yep bro yep
that's great
दिव्यांश का शायद ऑडियो नहीं आ पा रहा कहना चाह रहा था
हाँ दिव्यांश
ट्राई हो सकता है कुछ डिस्कॉर्ड इशू होगा नहीं तो माइक इशू सब हो सकता है
Acha, here na just try to speak in English because we don't know how many people like from where are they so he'll keep everything in English and hey hello Zelfroster share your GitHub profiles everyone also I've shared the GitHub repo for the website and we will start
will you be recording this session or should I record this
no it's live streaming so that's not a problem just
okay
and now it's full screen so no issue
yeah that is very because last time it was very hard to see part of quite things
yeah I didn't had any experience of streaming so that's why I just and I saw it happens I mean we just people just put the screen in the between and have some background or something in the side so I just tried that experiment in the streaming but I thought that there would be no issue like people just need to listen more and who maybe see a little bit of screen sharing and all but still
yeah it was
it's now full screen so that's not a problem now hey Siddhant
Hey guys, am I audible?
Yeah, you are Divesh.
Audible.
Sorry, actually, before that, no voice is audible, I guess.
Yeah.
Speaking, but yeah.
Great.
That happens.
Actually, you were asking about introduction. So, let me give my introduction. Like, I am Divyansh and I have recently learned full stack development. And next year I have counseling. So, I will be joining college by next year. So, these days I am exploring open source. So, I think this is the community which is best for
no
beginners.
issue.
So, yeah, so this is my intro.
Great Divyansh.
Amazing. So you are into like Web3 or web development, like what exactly?
Actually, I will also explore Web3, but nowadays I am focusing on JavaScript mainly because in open source there mostly use JavaScript. So I'm getting command on JavaScript for these days. Yes.
Yeah, that is great. I'm also learning in advanced JavaScript.
Yeah, great.
Yogesh, this is not a daily or weekly session. It's like we will be meeting kind of you can say weekly, but it's not actually fixed. I mean, this is the first time we are starting to build our website. So let's see how it goes, and it will go according to the community's wish. Siddhant, you here? I mean, don't attend any sessions. You are free right now. That's lucky.
Yes, hello.
Hello,
Introduce
hello,
yourself to everybody. Don't nobody knows you.
Hey everyone, I'm Siddhant. I'm just one of the silent listeners here.
That was the best intro I've ever heard in my life.
Khatam, Tata.
I
Today is the
what do you do? What you learn?
today is the inauguration of Fry the Web.
Not really. Like that was the activity. The main activity has already been started, but this is like where we will be coding the live. So, how many of you
Yeah.
here know Figma, or shall we design it on Xcali Draw, or like the layout can be designed on Xcali Draw, or we can also use Figma? What's your opinion, everybody?
To be honest, I think Draw is quite powerful in its own terms, but I think if you will be like creating, different kind of things on the website, so you will be need a high quality wireframe, right? I mean, Draw could be used for low fidelity design, like it's a sketching kind of website. But I think Figma is more powerful to create a lot of things. You will also get a lot of options like, let's say, transparent options and different animations.
Plus one
Yeah.
to that, Figma is better for creating the front-end design and Xcali is better for creating architecture diagrams.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, that is true. Figma has a lot of tools, but the thing is, how many of you know Figma here? Just honestly tell. No response says everything.
Well,
Uh,
at least
I know about that, but
I mean,
to
not
use
about that, like how to use it. I'm not saying it's very hard, like, but it's having a few concepts and tools that we can't be, is a bit like for the basic,
there is
like
no
because we are
problem.
just starting out, no. So let's.
If not someone knows, then we will learn together here, right?
yeah.
There is no problem.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
gonna share some
I've
resources.
never start to use that, but I know that it is used for front-end developer. Means before developing, you have to design something. So in this, the tool is used for that. Am I right?
Yes. It's actually used for quite a lot of things, like graphic designing, UI UX designing, wireframes, even for animation kind of things. I have created a lot of animations in Figma as well.
So here's a free code camp playlist that I found recently. And you don't have to watch everything here because it's actually for designers, most of the stuff. See, as a web developer, you don't have to learn lot of design concepts, but having a good idea is quite useful because you can create good UX UI. Like I've seen many portfolios of React developers where they make good websites, but the UI is so shit. I mean, you can't even like have a good experience using it. So that's my personal opinion. To learn a bit of designing and a bit of basic concepts, that is very useful. You can refer for that to this. Wait, let me share one resource.
Actually, to be honest, I would say कि मतलब थोड़ा बहुत knowledge. Everyone should know a little about design and UI UX. Not much, but a little. I mean, it will help you a lot. Like the thing is, like just an example, like this website design. It's everything is in the center, right? The section is in center because they want all of the attention in the center, right? So there is a lot of things you will be learning in UI UX. I mean,
So, yeah, go on.
Yeah, you nothing this time.
So this is a good resource. And the thing is, it's actually, I mean, the whole, this is a course actually, and that's paid, so you don't have to buy it. But the newsletter is quite gold. I mean, as they are very, good lessons that they teach you in the newsletter. Like I think it's every week, or yeah, it's a kind of every week or something, and it contains so good information. For example, let me just show you something. I'm gonna ruin my privacy, but still, let's hope that no critical mail is on the top. But I just don't want to show it. Let it load. And
I mean,
who's us?
it's
I'll
me.
sit
I
down.
mean, you can always stop sharing and then
Yeah,
open
of
once
course.
you're done.
Yeah, but I'm too lazy to do that. I mean,
Do it,
uh,
because you're going to trigger every single security professional in this voice call.
lol.
That's better.
Okay then. Yeah. I'm doing the same. Web design. Yeah, okay. Got it. Let me change the window then. Okay. So you can see this is the newsletters till now, and it contains really good information about design things. For example, one of the few things that I learned from here. Mm-mm-mm. Let's just open anything of it. Okay, this is a pretty. This one is a little bit advanced, but it just shares so good information. Uh, you see, yeah. For the example, this one, the most important color skills. So we all suffer with the color thing and all. And just read this. Despite designers loving to talk about color theory, I have found it completely useless in my own UI design. Seriously, here's an image from blah 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 using color theory, and you can see it's shit. So the dirty secret of practicing designers is no one actually uses the trap and reverse engineer. The most important in color skill is to make color variations. So I have used it a lot. Like I just pick a basic color theme, and just use the variations of it. I mean, you can use HSL and all to. It's a good practice to use HSL. I mean, if you don't know about that, it's basically a different way of writing the same color. Like there is hex code, there is HSL, there's RGB, so you can do it really easily. So just picking like one color theme and changing the color variation, just making it lighter, darker, and stuff like that. So basically, see, this is so short and it's really helpful. So I would say just subscribe to this newsletter, and because it's free, I've shared the link. And this is not a promo or something. I mean, this is really coming out of my experience. And this is a free Codecamp web playlist. I've shared that too to learn Figma. Don't watch these two videos. This is completely for typography. It's written for developers, but it's quite advanced a bit. And this is design system is something else. We can watch this one, wireframe mockup design by this. I think he's Adrian. I don't remember the name, but he's a pretty good guy. And he teaches the Figma stuff. So this is the current website. I mean, it's pretty basic because not I didn't keep it really like blank because I don't like that. So I just put an image and a link here. And let's see how many stars we have got till now. 5 stars. Good. So we'll be designing from scratch. As you can see, the current website is just basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I just want to know everybody's opinions. Should we use any library like JavaScript library like React, Vue, Svelte, or something? Or for in the starting, should we go like basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript? Like if you are beginners, I will say that we will start with JavaScript, like basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That will be a good experience, and then we can like shift to any other framework, for example React or something in the future. But for now, what's your opinion, everybody?
I do agree on this. I mean, I don't know if I at least I don't know a lot about React. So I think we can start with the basic stuff, and then in future we could shift to React or maybe.
Why nobody else is saying? Say something.
Yeah. So with soup.
Okay, that's good. So start with the
Always
basics.
start with the basics.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's good. Then we will go with basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And I think we have already this here. So let me just explain the basic. Okay.
I also have one question. Do you have any idea about the layout? What would be the layout, or maybe you can, if you are interested in taking some inspiration, you can try out maybe a Dribble website, because it's a great website if you want to look for the design.
Sure, we can take a look at Dribble. Let's see what should we search there. There's a lot of
website design or something like that. Yeah, web design. Because there are a lot of so this website is really powerful because it has a lot of Behance as well. These two websites are really good.
Yeah, I don't listen to voice. What should I do? Check your speakers and all, like settings. Okay, you can't listen. So anybody help this person in text?
Try to.
So actually, these are pretty kind of advanced designs. And yeah, by the way, just sharing some resources on the go so that this session can be little bit valuable for you all.
Oh, this is
So-
really good front end practice.
Yeah, so this is front end practice. You can practice your front end development skills by, there are levels here, like level 1, level 2, level 3, like advanced, and these are pretty good. And so let me share my personal experience recently. So like I have been starting with some freelancing stuff, not really, like not getting a project right now, but I'm trying to look for any kind of opportunities, internship or freelancing. So one thing that I have got to know is, you either have a good complex project, a big one which having a good front end and back end, or you should have at least good these kind of website designs that you have made on GitHub, and like show it that you can build stuff, and have a good portfolio website. Absolutely not like mine. I mean, it's this one is built with HTML, CSS, basic JavaScript months ago when I started with web development, and I'm too lazy to build it. It's under construction for like 8 months. It's like a government project, but I'll be
You should have paid
I'll
it.
be yeah, so I'll be like updating it with maybe some kind of new JavaScript framework which I learn, React, Vue.js, or something. And I've thought of an idea with the portfolio website. Like we can have a website which asks for a role, the person who is visiting the website. Okay, like when we build our website, we have all the information. We just put all the information on every place, and as an employer, if somebody is visiting our website, so what will their focus be on your website? Just tell me. If for example, an employer is visiting, they got your profile and they're visiting your website, so what they will want to see, what they want to know about you?
Say your tech stack, your projects, etc. Right? If he's if that person is an employee, they'll try to look at your tech stack, your projects, your contributions. Maybe if that person is into open source, then otherwise I don't. But mainly projects.
Yeah, like we are assuming as a web developer, like web developer, DevOps, or like related to that. Anybody else? Any experience, anything? Because you shouldn't be quiet. I mean, participate, share something. What as an employer, just imagine that you are an employer going to looking for a good web developer, DevOps engineer or something, and you are visiting that profile. So what will you want to see?
I'm first of all they see your skill. Skill means what you have done to showcase about your thing. Means if you are web development, so if employer means he just want to get the work they want. First of all, he is to that, which means everyone has a different profile, means different fields. So first of all, they see which field he wants to give you work. So see there which skill you have, uh, your GitHub profile means your link, about yourself, your bio,
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
yeah.
so as an employer, they will basically just look for the skills and projects that you have, and mostly those are HRs or something. So they're not going into code, or if they are like engineering major or something, they will just look you at your projects and their code quality and how are you approaching them. They will just take a look at it. So the most important part in your portfolio is basically your GitHub profile, the projects, and the skills. And one thing I would like to share: never add a skills like, they people put a skills range or something. I mean, like there's some, I saw somewhere, I don't remember the website name, but you must have seen this, like HTML's, let's say JavaScript, and there's a bar like 100. You've seen the progress bar, and it's like
Yes,
80 out of 100,
Yeah,
80 out of 100,
uh,
and Node.js
yeah.
60 out of 100. Like, what the fuck do you mean with that?
don't do that.
I mean, what is that? What does 60 out of 100, like? Is there any limited, a book or something which, it just
Learning.
doesn't make sense. So don't do anything like that. Just put that, okay, this stuff, okay, and you can write kind of basic, intermediate, and advanced. That is okay, because that is like asked at many places, the level that you are in. And most people are lying in the intermediate, like 20% are in the basic, and like in between, most of the people are in intermediate, and a few people are in the advanced. So you can put something like that, but never put a range or something like 80 out of 100 or 60 out of 100. That doesn't make any sense. That's not a good practice. So what I thought of the portfolio website is having a prompt, like not prompt, what's called choosing an option. So when you visit the website, it asks you a question: who are you? Okay, what's your role like? And there will be two options: a normal person, an employer. And if the employer is like visiting a website, they can click on the employer button, and they will have a website form where you will be, directly sharing the info they need, so that their time is, saved, and they will also get a good impression of yours, which will actually tell key that you are, you care for their time. Okay, you are serious, that, I mean, you are sincere person, you are a responsible person, you care for their time, so you will directly show the info they need directly on the front page. And if the normal person is waiting, you can, just put some animations, you can do all kind of stuff that you want, just, write a biography, 100-page book or something, but it's on you. But in the employer side, you can put the basic and the info that's actually needed. That's an idea you all can implement, because of course you are all web developers, most of you, and you will be building a website. So just try to implement this idea and try to avoid these kind of mistakes of 100 out of 80 skill level. So that was a basic rant. uh
Just an
Now.
FYI, I don't think that you should include the beginner, advanced, intermediate things as well, because
Mhm.
those things are relative. They're relative to how much you know, and there could be, you could know like 10% and call yourself an intermediate. So I really think that that's also not something which you should include.
Yeah, yeah, that is also a
Absolutely.
good thing. Yeah, but I saw many places like they'd ask for the, when you make a job profile at many job portals, they ask you like business, beginner, intermediate, advanced. So like, that why I said. But yeah, I mean, that's not, doesn't make any sense. Like, how do we know? They can only know by the project quality. Okay, like for example, visiting my profile, they will know that I'm not a very advanced person, I just know basic JavaScript and all, because I have website for that. Like, I have only projects for that show my basic JavaScript HTML skills. Okay, and that's the main that's the main proof. Like, you should show your projects and show about them really well. Don't put like a link. Okay, just like writing, okay, this something website, and then live link and GitHub profile. No, try to include some informational stuff that will prove that how you build this website. Just put in short that okay, I use this stack, okay, and these kind of things I have used, this is the concept. And maybe if you can, like, there is a GitHub commits like history or something. You don't need to show everything, but you can, kind of just share a bit of that part, like in screenshot, or just try to make it concise in text form. And you can uh, share like what changes you did in the past, and what kind of approach you are having with that project. That is really really helpful. That just shows that what kind of developer you are, because as a developer you'll be doing this stuff only. You are how you are approaching the project, what things you are doing, that's really important. So just a few ideas for your next, like, future portfolio websites. And yes, also having a LinkedIn, GitHub link there, everything whatever you think is relevant, so that's pretty important. Now let's come to the designing part. Okay, this is our current website, very basic, no issues, everything good. Anybody would like to share something? Don't be just silent, I'm feeling weird.
So Prakash,
Yeah,
I have a question regarding this. What what the website means every website have their different meanings. So let's try web for what means what is about a website. If you start a website, so
Mm-hmm.
what is the goal? Our website means your website. Our website means ki just I'm saying ki every website has their meaning. To when employer get visit is ki this website for employer or employee which they want to show their project and other stuff. So am I
Sorry, I
not
didn't get your question. What was it like? Can you again repeat?
means let's try the web. So what is about this website?
Okay,
Uh,
what the purpose of this website is, you
yeah,
are
yeah,
asking.
yeah, yeah. I'm not.
What is, like, you are included the employer stuff? That was now like confused me. That employer, that thing is, I'm talking about your portfolio that you will be building in
Oh,
future.
great.
Okay,
Okay.
that are some tips and like ideas that I'm just sharing for your own portfolio for as a web developer, that for future stuff. But that this project is different. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, what's the purpose?
Uh,
We the basic thing that we want to have. So, like, for example, anybody just sees the tweet or post about the this event, and
yeah.
they don't, like, nobody just opens, just joins a Discord server just to know about the event. So
Mhm.
you can share a website. There should be a website that you can share to anybody. Okay, let's
Mm.
say you are sharing about the whole event to your friends. Okay, so how will they know what exactly they went in, and what kind of people come there, what kind of discussions happen there? Are you literally gonna, write everything, or
No,
just
no, no.
share something, or share the YouTube video separately? Like, that will be a mess. Okay, so there should be a centralized, unified, place where
So
all the information. Yeah.
it's like if I want to inform about this community. So first of all, I share them the website link. He got an overall view about what the community means, what the work have happened behind this. So he get eager to join the community. So it is this for website. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
eager to like join the website. Sorry, not
No,
to server. It means
uh,
that we are just
we are
telling
connected.
what the whole event is, and what's our history, what's the feedback, what we do
Mm,
there, and some creative stuff. Like, it's upon us. We are building the website, so
mm,
contributions are welcome.
yeah.
And yeah, you all can actually start contributing in the README. Okay,
Mm,
you
mm,
can maybe put something here. I mean, you can take some basic ideas, write some, create some issues for the README part to make it look beautiful,
mhm.
and then the development part will be doing. So let's say, for example, this is we make devs website, and there is some event section. So maybe let's see if something we can get from here. Okay, so for example, they are having a tagline, and then a basic info, and learn more. some images, numbers. I don't know why that's not a good thing. Like it's just restarting from every time I'm scrolling. No problem. So this kind of statistics, maybe we can include something like 100 no for 50 plus people. I mean it's upon us, like, and yeah, we can share tweets, of course. This is a good thing.
Yeah, you
Just
can add the tweets.
Mhm.
yeah, this. So I'm using Excalibur for the basic wireframe or whatever you say, like outline of the
Sure.
website.
Great
And I
idea.
will, yeah, and we will convert it to Figma. I have actually made the Figma project, but for the because not everybody is having a good Figma idea about it. So I would highly recommend you all learn the basics of Figma. You don't need to know a lot of stuff there. Just with basics, that's enough. Because as a freelance web developer or getting a basic um, internship or something, very basic I'm talking about, they require you to convert the designs into websites, in the good looking websites. So that's that's like they will share you Figma or something, Adobe XD file or something. You have to convert that whole design into a website, and for that, this is a good place to practice that thing. If you just open one anything here, let's open this thing. This is how actually you will be getting freelance projects. If I share you live, there's a freelancer.com website and many other places, and there are freelance projects that actually say I need some HTML basic JavaScript website which have this. So this is a great way to practice your front end skills. They share you the resources you can learn. Okay, so for example, this website is here. Let's
Wow, this is really good because they actually shared the resources. I mean,
yeah
look at that, this thing CS, not the CSS box model, but I just saw like there was something related to positioning or something that that is something you would, like, not everyone would know, but as a beginner, but you will be learning as well
yeah
when you'll be building things.
Yeah, so as a designer, you need all this stuff. Okay, so you don't have to actually, because the projects that you make, it's upon you what kind of color palette and whatever typo, like I mean typography, basically font, and what kind of stuff you want. But when you are in a freelancing, or let's say you are in job service companies or this that kind of stuff, so they give you all this stuff. Like there are separate roles for web designers. Okay, web designer and developer is a different thing. See, there are separate roles for web designer, and they will be like their whole work is around it. They have to design a whole website, UI, UX, and they have a pretty good salary too. And all this color stuff, typography, this, that, everything is something that they care about. And we get the resources that we have to, make the thing that we have to make, and we make it work. Okay, they design it, and we developers make it work. So if we like, I'm just telling all this stuff because a lot of you will not become developers. Like people's, sometimes creativity is there. They like the art, they like colors and all. So you can change your part to web designer. Like there's no problem. You have the basic idea of how the web works, and you have used the websites. You have built a few of them, so you can transition to web developer role, and that will be quite good. So just this website is pretty cool basically, so you can take help from just practice your front end skills. Also, this if this is not, if like this seems a bit complex, you can also use front end masters. The only downside of that is, let me, it's not front end master, it's front end mentor, I guess.
Yes, front end mentor.
Yeah, so the only downside is a lot of things here are paid. You can see pro thing, but some basic stuff is actually free, so that's not a problem. And you can practice some basic skills of making some basic layouts. For example, I built this NFT card. This is not mine is different, but there are some challenges here. Let me share the link. Okay, Shubh, you share. It's just it's just I'm lazy to share the link. Frontendmentor.io. You can go there and practice your basic front end skills. As you can see, This thing requires HTML, CSS, JS skills, and this will the layout you will make. Okay, Vishub has shared it. Cool. You see this thing. Okay, this is premium, no problem. Filter by free. Cool. So see, you can build, this pretty cool small designs. You can start with this. This is a great thing. This is a form, multi-step form, news homepage. You see this one card, interactive card. When you do payments and all. So this is a pretty good resource to start with, and then you can go to front end practice and make a full-fledged website, front end website, not a completely back end stuff. It's only front end only. And after front end, you can always that's a complete part to become web developer. You should know a bit of back end and all. And if you're like backend developer, you don't need to care a lot of front end. Like maybe Siddhant, maybe tell something about that.
I'm kind of
care?
more into front end because I do feel the more things will look better, the more it will attract users. I love attractive things. It just catches my eye. So that is why I'm more into front end. All about designs and kind of.
Yeah, from a backend perspective, you need to know a little bit of front end, at least how you're fetching data from the server and rendering it on the front end part. If you know that, then you can design your backend with that stuff in mind, so you can make it better.
Yeah. That is the thing. So anybody interested in backend development, they can go to that area. They don't need to know a lot of front end stuff. Front end is a pretty complex study now. Like the times have changed. In past, we had full stack developers meant basically that a lot of backend and a little bit of front end, because devices were very low in amount, less in amount, and there was not a lot of developments in the browser stuff. I was just reading about browser history and all. That's pretty wild. Mozilla, Firefox, Chrome, everything. So things have changed a lot, and we have so many devices now, TV screen, and mobiles of different sizes, responsiveness, different browsers, operating system. That all is just a whole another level of complexity in the front end side. So both areas, front end or back end, are pretty complex, and you can't be like great in front end, great in back end, both like in a short amount of time. I'm not saying like if you give both time you can become. It's about human ability, but in the short amount of time you should focus on one thing. Try to specialize in one thing, either back end or front end. For back end, you can, I guess, go to a resource of, what was that, I don't remember. Learn backend something was, I don't know. Shubh or Siddhant, do you know?
What was the context?
Yeah. This is boot.dev.
I think of boot.dev. Exactly.
Do you use it? Anybody? Anybody learn from?
I've used
can't.
it in the past, but not a lot.
I
But
used
it's
it
pretty
to
good.
learn Golang for some days, but then I thought, what's the point of learning Golang right now when I have to learn JavaScript? So I kind of left it. Otherwise, it's a good resource, right?
Yeah,
to
I'm
learn.
just
And the CEO, founder, whatever of boot.dev, he has made some free code camp courses as well, so you can check those out.
Yeah. I was looking at. I was having a bit of. I guess this is the one. Yeah. This is this. This is him, right?
Yep. There was
Yeah.
one HTTP networking course and another one on Golang.
Yes,
Yeah.
on the Golang as well.
Yeah. So this is the thing. So you need to
I
know
think
a
it was
bit of.
released in May of 2023.
Yeah, I mean, so you need to know a bit of backend to become a full stack developer, but you have to choose your path. And there are so many, like so far in the discussion, so many things we have discussed. In the front end, you can go into web designing or web development. In the web development thing, you can choose backend or front end and go into that. So there are so many things in tech that you will be lost forever if you know just choose something. You just explore what is better, how much salary everybody is getting. Recently, the Stack Overflow survey got released. Let me just search.
Just an FYI, with modern frameworks like React, the line between backend and frontend gets kind of thin, at least for the basic functionality, because most of the things that you would traditionally use a backend server for, it happens at the front end side itself, because computers have become more powerful, so you don't exactly need a powerful server sitting somewhere in the world. You can just have it process that stuff locally. And another thing to note is that with React and stuff, you need to get decently good with stuff like use state and use effect, because that is how you're basically fetching data from your backend and deciding how it should be rendered on the front end.
Yeah, I personally built some layouts after uh, like learning Vue.js, and I got to know that you can do a lot of stuff in the front end. And yeah, that is very true. Front end has become a lot more complex, so that's why like choosing a specialized path is really important. So but still, like black backend is in its own world, it's pretty important. Like for example, new AI and ML things is coming, is mostly backend, not much front end is used there. Like in ChatGPT, if you use, you can see that just basic layout and it's coming all from backend. So there's a lot of stuff in the backend and in the front end. So don't be lost forever. Don't just choose one thing as soon as you can. I mean, if you just dwell into the whole technology world, it's pretty big. You don't need to give a lot of time into choosing things. You can always shift your field in future. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Now, we mentioned that some backend stuff is getting integrated in the front end as well. So, does anybody have a question like what's the purpose of an actual backend server?
Everybody try to participate and answer. I'm coming in a minute.
Sorry, what was the question?
Like, you're integrating quite a bit of the backend stuff, at least the basic stuff, into your front end itself. So, what's the need for an actual backend server?
Well, I don't know a lot about this, but I think most of the things, not most of the things, but quite a lot of things can be handled by the browser itself, like things related to backend. But I think there is quite a lot of things related to like database or maybe like updating things which could be sent from the server to be shown on the front, like something which need to be updated, right? Dynamic websites kind of things, right? So for example, just an example, like you just saw a Dribble website. So there could be some time when Dribble will be updating their design. Maybe Spotify website, when Spotify will be updating some songs and recommending you. So that is called dynamic website. So I think that is when server backend would be mostly used to give some suggestions and all of those content on the front end. Just a guess. I don't know much about it.
You're pretty much on point, but like I don't really consider, I mean, databases is considered backend, but I consider databases a field of its own. So by backend, I just meant the processing part. The basic rule of thumb is computers have gotten a lot more powerful compared to 2006, 2008 era. So a lot of your processes and stuff, you can do it locally without taking up too much of your computer's resources or putting too much load on your local computer. So you don't need a server to handle all those complex processes. It can be done locally. So that's where local doing your backend stuff in the front end makes more sense. And if you have something which is like very resource intensive and stuff, for that it'll be better to have a dedicated server for it. And yeah, databases is its own separate thing, which is hosted somewhere else. That fetching is completely different.
Okay. So basically, was I right or was I
You are quite
correct
on
on that?
point. On point.
Okay, thank you.
It's cool. So I'm just making a to-do list here in the README, a live GitHub project README tutorial, Markdown tutorial.
Okay.
You can put this little to-do thing. Let me make it a heading, and we will have a good to-do list to do. I mean, we can use projects feature of the of GitHub. That is quite powerful, but for now it's like we can't access it because I'm not the owner. I mean, some permission issues, but we can of course use README. So create a basic layout for the website and
Wait.
whatever.
Do one thing. First design the layout. Then we will easily get what is to be done about to do. I mean, because that will be like that's the first design, and then what needs to be done.
Yeah, that's the first to do. And there is some ideas section, like what we can have in the website. So we will be discussing it and adding it here. And in future, like when we start the development and it continue it, we will try to implement these ideas. So let's okay, so some good practices for commit messages. For now, this is a very basic commit, but still, like as a software developer, just try to build a good habit of committing small changes. Okay,
One change per commit, right?
not
One
really,
change
like
per.
one change is pretty big. I mean, like changing
No, I
variable name.
mean,
Yeah,
no, not that. I mean, related things.
I mean,
What
just
I'm
think of
saying.
it this way. You write one function that does something, commit it. You call the function in another file, that will be your second commit. Think of
Yeah,
it that way.
yes, exactly.
yeah.
It's easy to
So
track things that way.
yeah, for example, like let's say you are building a nav bar and or changing something there, so you should have a good like committing every time when you have a pretty good change that you think after that something else is starting. For example, you made the navbar responsive, okay, and you changed, let's say you added the what is that called, media queries or css media queries and all, and bit of JavaScript, and then you commit that made the navbar responsive, and you can add in the description what you did actually. I'll be showing the terminal, like how to do it. This is the GitHub part, but the thing is the same, only there we'll be using terminal and here it's just UI. So for example, we will do like add to do and ideas section. And yeah, one important thing, your git commit should be in the language of this commit slash. Okay, just remember this. The commit heading should be something like this commit will this commit will and follow up the title, like in this language basically. So for example, in this, for what people do, let me just share the mistake.
Prakash, just to cut you off, using semantic commits would be better because that is a lot easier to track, and you can have automations which will just read your commit history and make your change log. So I've shared the resource for semantic commits. Just y'all can go through that and follow that convention.
Okay, let me open it.
Okay, I got it. I mean, I read somewhere
Okay, got
like
it, got it.
they were saying like keep this in the first form of uh, grammatical. They were talking about some grammatical things like keep it in the first form or something like that. Don't do this adding. Keep it add instead of adding.
Yeah, because your commit message, you have a character limit which is shorter than a tweet. I think you have like 100 characters or maybe 150 character limit. So your commit has to fit within that. So it's better to use something like this where you just put add and like you put whatever you have changed, added function to do blah blah blah.
This is really good resource. I'm going to share it on Twitter as well. Semantic
mean,
comment.
that title thing that so I mean we can integrate. I mean, is it replacing what I'm saying or is it like just adding?
No,
I think it's adding.
it's adding.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, this is
it basically is a style guide for how you should structure or commit messages. Because if let's say your project is super active and you don't have a like it becomes if your project is super active, let's say it's React, for example, core React, or say Kubernetes, or whatever big project, you get so many commits every single hour that it is just impossible to manually create a change log. So instead, this type of commit style is preferred, so that they can just use automation bots and create the change log automated.
got it. So
All
how
right.
like how to
Yeah.
wait?
Hmm.
Let me. Where is the repo? So this will be like doc. I mean something here in the commit message it happens or in the pull
Yeah,
request, I
in
guess.
the commit message, in the commit message.
Something like this.
Not exactly. You can just put like update and whatever you have updated in the doc.
I mean like this or some. Don't
Yeah,
understand.
I usually do it like that. Update colon added blah 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 to readme.
Yeah, we'll be. I think this is good. This is a docs change. So maybe something like this. And here the commit message will be like in the form. It should be like this commit will, and then the the line.
No. Yeah, skip this commit will, because again I told you about the character limit. This commit will is just wasting your time.
No. I'm not saying this commit will be in the commit title. Like it should be assumed that this line is the title is starting after that line. So in that way, okay. For example, I can put it here: added ideas and to do section, or adding ideas and to do sections. Basically, the grammar thing. The tense thing.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is that is the
Yeah. Tense present. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. I think the tense depends on the project, but usually present tense is preferred. At least I've always used
I will.
present.
I will share the resource from where I learned. Let me, if I check if something like that exists.
Yeah, I just remember Eddie mentioning this on a Twitter space or somewhere once, but I don't really remember it too well.
I've read it somewhere. I don't remember, but I will share the resource. And so just have this in mind. This commit will not adding that whole words.
Yeah.
It should the title should be assumed that that line is present before it. So write it like that, not added, not adding, but this commit will add ideas into two section. This commit will do this. Okay,
Basically,
understood?
rule of thumb, whatever takes less characters.
Yeah. So
All
this is
right, then
it.
I have to drop off right now. Got to
Okay,
prepare
that's
for
good.
the talk.
Oh,
Folks,
yeah, you remains.
yeah. Just one last thing before I leave. If you are new at web development, then please contribute to this website. It'll help you only ultimately. If you're experienced with web development, then don't contribute to this in the beginning. Let it like get a basic version up. After that, you can start contributing because you're already mildly experienced with web development. Rather, I would recommend beginners to contribute to this project since it's literally zero right now. It'll be a good learning experience.
Great. Thanks.
All right then. See you. Bye bye.
Okay, take
Thank
care.
you.
Good luck for your
You take
event.
care.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining in, Sakam. Take care.
Sayonara.
Sayonara. Thanks.
Sayonara. Acha, Japanese man. Okay, cool. So yeah, committing this whole commit took a lot of time. Yeah, cool. Now we have a to do. Need to create a basic layout for the website, and you all need to help me with that. Just share some, if you get some design ideas, or we are not ending the meet. That Siddhant was leaving, so yeah, share some basic design or layout ideas that you have. you all can simultaneously Google designs or something, and we will try to have a discussion on it. Let's just put a basic UI, whatever we think will work for now. Okay, escalator. Better I close it. Yeah, let me close the stuff that we have shared and focus on the stuff that we are doing.
Ragnar,
I mean,
why is
first
your
of all,
yeah,
hello?
go ahead.
Yeah, Kakashi.
Why is your alt and you are both are in same VC?
Yeah, because this whole thing is like live streaming. That's used for that.
Oh, so why do you need like two account?
Why do I? Because I mean, I was having issues with streaming on the same device. Like, there was issues. I mean, so that's for that reason.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I need my alt to stream so that people who can't join can see the whole talk after
Okay,
that.
first, I mean, you can take a little bit of like inspiration from Remake Dev's website as well, like how they put the things. Like for example, the H1 is basically the let's fry the web kind of thing. No.
Mhm.
Go on the front page of Remake Devs, right? And then you go into events, and then you will see like the first section ever, right?
This,
So
this thing?
oh no, अरे इन्होंने एक ही में कर रखा है recorded. So we can use this kind of thing, like instead of about us, we will be writing about this event, and then we will add some tweets as well, right? So that's kind
Mhm.
of the proper layout, right?
Yeah, I'm
And
thinking of the logo to be the center. Like, let's.
yeah, that plugin nav is really good. That's really nice. I mean, on the dark theme, it looks really good.
Yeah, somebody asked for color theme or something. I have put the color theme here. You can see. Okay, let me share some good CSS practices now. CSS lesson time. So this is the CSS file, and I have used a few stuff that many of you won't understand. So how many of you don't understand it? You can use the emojis to react.
I
How
can
many?
actually understand a little bit.
That's good. How many of you can't understand what the whole complex thing is written here? Okay, Rudraksh, Vidya, who else? Like, can't understand shit, use Tailwind. Bro, you use Tailwind so you don't understand CSS? Is that your something? Bro, don't have
He
something.
wants us to use Tailwind. I mean, it's fine. You could
I mean,
use Tailwind as well. There is, it's just, to be honest, if we will be using Tailwind, that will mean that a lot of beginners won't be able to
no,
code
Tailwind is
into
not
this
recommended.
website.
That's Tailwind is a
But
separate thing. It's just a tool. Like you don't need to. We'll not be using Tailwind. We're using
yeah,
CSS and
I mean,
uh,
exactly. Just saying that if someone has already done with the CSS, that then it will help them learn Tailwind. Otherwise, learning directly Tailwind won't help them. So that is why we are keeping
eventually
CSS.
you are writing
Yeah.
CSS only, so you should have a knowledge. Like we'll be building this website from scratch, so we'll be this will be our information packed sessions. In the starting, we may, because we'll eventually move to a better UI, maybe using React, and this will be a complete journey. Okay, this is because we'll be starting again and again some good projects. Like in the future we may start something else that will be starting from basic. This is the current project that will start from basic, and then we will in the future gradually, in a few weeks and months, we'll develop it into a better app as we become better ourselves. Like as we become better in CSS and JavaScript, then we'll move to React. And because using CSS is quite fun, and many things, like as beginners you
Definitely.
all should learn it. You don't ever skip CSS, because Tailwind, Bootstrap, it's all just tools that you can learn anytime. And if you don't know CSS, you will not be able to use Tailwind really well, because the concepts are the same. I mean, margin, padding, box model, all that stuff you need to know. You can't use Tailwind without it, and it's not a good thing. So yeah, we'll be starting with like raw CSS for now. So it's like a story. Yeah. It will be, every project will be like a story, na? I mean, currently the everything like we'll start. It will be have a journey. For now, it's basic as we decided. You can see we discussed a few minutes ago that we'll be using basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then in future we may move to React or any kind of framework that we think is good. Let me explain this whole stuff. So this is star with it basically means selecting everything. Okay, selecting literally everything on the page. Just know that. As you know that in the CSS you select stuff. Okay, you use selectors for it. There are elements. There are classes. As you can see, this is class. You can have multiple classes on an element. You can have one ID on an element, and the element name is of course. So if I write like div here, it will select all the divs. If I write h3, it will select all the h3. And if I write, let's say, dot front page div, as you can see I have done it somewhere. Yeah, it will only select the elements with this class. Pro tip, try not to use IDs. Yeah, that is because IDs are for only one element, and like only one element change is pretty weird, and IDs are not like usually recommended because they are
I mean,
there is
their specificity is too much. I mean, that will create a lot of problem for you because of ID specific. It's more preferred if you use classes because it's a good way to work.
yeah. So using IDs is not a recommended thing, but knowing about it is important because we will be sometimes we will come across it, and sometimes it is used. So yeah, so you can see this is universal selector. This is called universal selector. This asterisk, no specificity, like it really like anything you can do it here, and it will change everything. But any other change, like if you use any element, it will be overwritten. So it's like having zero specify, as you can see. Okay. Now the most important question: why are we using this? Like why are we doing this? Why are we giving this three styles to everything? This is because by default the websites, yeah, right, k dot dot, like why do you change your name so many times, Kakashi? So the websites have a default CSS. Okay, that's called like there's a browser style sheets that put some default CSS, and it by default gives us some margin to every element, some padding, and a little bit of other stuff. So you have to reset it. Okay, like reset, it's not something like you have to do, but it's a good practice because you see you will be implementing your own margins and paddings, and you don't want to collide with the existing ones. So it's a pretty important thing to first of all
I mean,
reset everything.
actually, the reason is every browser has a different kind of approach. Every browser tries to put their kind of layout and all the structures, like different kind of margin and all. So it's a good way and a good approach to just reset all the margin and padding so that we can start fresh, right? So that's a really good
Yeah.
thing. Leon actually told us just in the first session in the CSS, like he was like just reset it, like do the margin 0 and padding 0.
Yeah. And this box sizing thing you don't need to know now. It's something related to border and specify the behavior of width and height. You don't. It's not very like as a beginner, but you should know about it in the future. We will talk about it. 20 seconds break. Just stand from your chair, drink some water. It's pretty important. And yeah, we'll be soon.
Have you actually added this like 20-second break or something? Why is it happening?
Yeah. Now let me give a health lesson here. Sharing a good software for that. I am using Stretchly. It's a pretty good software. It's available on Windows, Linux, and it's a break reminder app. So it basically you can set it up, and it just gives you breaks. Like it just, as you can see, like you have seen my live stream, so you can just You can make it cover screen and not skippable, so that you don't skip the breaks. It's pretty important, because once you start the
Oh.
habit of skipping breaks, it will be detrimental for your health. But taking breaks is very important. Okay, don't ever underestimate this. Hello folks, I'm late. Lol, what does this mean? Yeah, like we have started the session. You can actually watch the recording. This is the whole thing is live streamed. We talked about front end, back end design stuff. Yeah, a lot of things. GitHub, Git, good practices and all. So yeah, this is Stretchly, a break time app. You can download it and set your break reminders. So now, this is the basic CSS reset. If anybody have any question, you should ask. Okay, don't like just listen and
Yeah,
some.
Hi, Prakhar.
Yeah, Ashish.
What are these double colon? I don't understand. After and what are these?
This thing.
No, no,
Okay, this.
upside.
Yeah, after before. You don't need to care about it now. It's a little bit. You will learn it soon.
No, no, no. Just
think
tell
it's
me. Like
is it
I
pseudo
learned CSS. Like I
Uh-huh.
want to know what is this.
Yeah,
is
Shubh,
it
go on.
pseudo classes? Is it pseudo class?
Yep.
Okay.
I think pseudo classes begin with single semicolon, double.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Yes. We can hear you.
Yeah. Say again. I can't. Hello. So yeah, it's a they are called pseudo elements. Pseudo elements and classes are two different things. Classes are basically state of an element. Like the classes are basically, for example, hover, focused, and all, which is
Oh, it's pseudo element. Okay.
yeah. Pseudo
Pseudo
elements
element.
are basically just put elements on the page by CSS, and before after. They are a bit confusing. You should use Kevin Powell's resources to learn about after and before thing. He will explain
Like
you very well.
tell me what it does. Like after and before you write it, but what it does? Matlab, what is overall idea about?
You watch this video and you will get the good idea. It basically adds an element before after the any HTML element. Okay, and you can put some content inside it. It's mainly used for example, it can be used for a lot of stuff. Like it's just experimentation, but it's kind of used for info hovers and if let's see if some example we can get here. Pseudo element before after.
No, I mean, why you put before and after? Matlab, can we not
Because by
directly put?
default everything like have some default CSS and we are setting it to 0.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
okay, okay.
Yeah, so you don't need to worry. I've shared a video. You just learn about it.
Okay.
And anybody else, if you get any questions, just ask it in the chat. Shubh is there, and if you can speak, then please ask in voice. And yeah, good. So the next thing here, I am importing some fonts from Google Fonts. Let me share that. Fonts is pretty important, and you can use Google icons or fonts. I mostly use this because like I'm not gonna find every icon or on the like download a PNG for some times like you need to download it separately. But for now, I'm using the font from here. We will talk about it later on. It's not very advanced, like pretty basic. You just select your fonts and you import it in your files or using HTML, and then you use it. Pretty basic. It's just using online fonts in your website. So no rocket science. And if you get any questions, we will be learning about this stuff soon in future. What's going on? Padding 0. No. After and before applied, it doesn't get like it only applies for elements. After and because after and before are not HTML elements. They are adequate CSS. They are pseudo elements. Okay, like they are not by default there. I mean, you don't use it in HTML CSS. It's just for that reason only. It's called pseudo elements, as you can see in the name. You see.
Like I was asking the same question, Gaurav. Like why you use after and before? Uh,
Yeah. And CSS resetting is also having a. Let me share one more video. Yeah, this video is pretty good, and you should follow Kevin Powell for CSS stuff. He's pretty great guy, and he shares golden tips about it. And you can watch these videos. Something. Okay. See, one blog is here. You can go. Yeah. Till now I'm doing the same. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, only using this whole thing is also okay. I just have learned about it that this is also something that is done in the code, so I do it too. Coming to the next thing, and we'll be ending this live coding soon because I guess we have already spent 1 hour. It was a good information session because it's recorded. Not in the information will not be lost. This is root element, which is basically this. I mean, the HTML thing. I mean, how can I explain? Anybody knows about the root element? They can explain. Participate in the discussion, yaar. Everybody is silent. How are you going to
Yeah, I was
collaborate on it?
gone. I was gone
Yeah.
for a second.
Okay, can you explain the root, the CSS root thing to everybody?
Which one?
This.
Actually, I haven't used this yet. Even I don't know. I'm also a beginner, right?
yeah, same. I also don't
Okay.
know about.
These.
And
But we can
use
ask.
two hyphens
can
also.
ask- We can ask ChatGPT. Let's ask ChatGPT first.
Yep.
No, use MD and docs for now. Okay. That ChatGPT will miss a lot of things, and like try to have a good experience of using docs for now. Yeah, you can use ChatGPT for a few stuff, but like just to get an experience, because you will not be able to. I mean, yeah, whatever. So root is a pseudo class that is the root element of a tree representing the document. In HTML, root represents HTML element, okay, which is basically HTML, but it's a bit different. Okay, some complex stuff here. You can use like root is having a higher specificity than HTML, and if you don't want a specificity, maybe a Shib can give a quick intro or anybody. What is CSS specificity? Specificity. So hard
Specificity
to.
is basically
Specificity is something like how it describe
yes.
how valuable element or how valuable it's like. No?
Yes,
Not how
exactly. I mean,
available, like it.
no. Actually, specificity means which property will be preferred more.
In Cascade system, like yeah.
Exactly.
Uh,
Just a second.
Yeah. So it basically is like the power that the selector has. If I use this thing, I can override this by another specific. Like how specific is it? Let me explain it with an example. Let me say that you have to find a person, and I give you his address that they are located in this house. Okay, they are living in this house. Now you go there and find them in that house, and yeah, but that's not really specific. It many people will be there in the house, and then I give you another address that he is in the room number, let's say 27, or let's say he's in the bedroom or something. So you go there, it's more specific. And then I can say, let's say in the bedroom also there are 2 3 people. Then I can say, okay, the person with the black t-shirt is the one you're looking for. Then you get there. So basically being more specific adds more power. Like it just gives CSS the power to select that thing and override the properties, override the CSS style on that one. So the least specificity is this thing. everything. So I will say that person exists in the world. So find that person. Okay, and let's say root means this person exists in this house. And class is basically, for example, that person is wearing t-shirt, but t-shirt can be worn by a lot of people. So classes is like multiple. And id is also like, id is more specific, like this person's Aadhaar card id is this, so you will be able to find easily. So this is some examples.
Nice example.
So these are some things that you can think of elements as organisms, like that is a human or a dog or something. I mean, this just example stuff. If you don't get it, I understand, because it's something that you actually need to study and practice yourself. You can ask questions from us, and I can give a kind of session on it after studying myself, because this is all spontaneous knowledge sharing. Mostly I use it for specific colors. Yeah, this is the same thing I'm using, like we are using it for. The root element is having these variables. We can, okay, these are css variables. These are same thing that we have used in programming, that we declare variables and it contains values. In the css, they are called css variables or custom properties. Don't confuse with the names. These are basically custom properties or css variables which contain some variable, sorry, value. Okay,
So
some
basically
value.
you did this so that you don't have to repeat that hash
Yep. Yep.
hash number, right?
Yeah. Because for example, let's say we have to change the color theme in the future. Let's say this is this green is not good, we need a little bit darker shade, and then we'll literally go and replace
Then you
all
will
of
have to change
this.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly, definitely. So this is kind of like programming variable, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And ये double hyphen like for creating variables.
Yeah. Double FN. This thing is for to create variable, and after that the variable name is there. You can put any name. This you can put hyphen or there are some rules for the variable name declaration. These are properties. You declare it double dash, and the normal CSS syntax, what is called colon, the value, and so this is how you, and then you can use it like this. You use it var parenthesis,
अच्छा, we put bar. Okay.
and inside it we use this thing. Okay, so if I change, like for example, let me just demonstrate it. So you can see this is the color by, and this is using it. And if I change so links is having the color theme, and h1 is also having the same color theme. So if I change this color theme to, let's say, lighter shade, you see everything is changed.
Yeah.
We don't need to update every single thing.
I actually learned variables right now. Just thank you.
Yeah. I
didn't know
also see
about
that
variables. I actually learned variables right now.
That is really good. This session is basically, so like, it's worth it for you all, because we are starting from the beginning. So that's why attending, participating is very important. And we'll be having more projects in the future. So every time somebody is beginning their journey, so that will be helpful. So now variables done, see custom properties, the same thing. So we have a few color themes here. This is a theme, dark green, then light theme, blue, black, everything, and then a font family that we have defined here, and then we can use it anywhere. So what is,
Like,
and what? Yeah.
Is this color theme for our new website or the previous one? Like, for new website, we can decide other theme, na? Or use that one.
I mean, color theme is the same. Like, we have designed all our designs in that color theme, so color theme is not a problem. Like, it's okay. We like, it will be a major change. This is
Only layout changing. Yeah.
we need to focus on layout right now. Colors are, we can change them in the future if we see it can made better. Some designers, if okay, Subhadeep is here. Can you share any kind of design ideas or something? I think Subhadeep is a designer and he's new here,
Yeah, nice.
and maybe give his intro or something. And if he don't want to speak because he's a bit shy, I guess. So you can introduce yourself in the text also. And some more stuff that I want to tell about the what we have done already. This is called this is a class. Okay, this is a class that can be applied to a lot of elements, and we have I have defined here some basic class that will be applied, that can be applied to general stuff. For example, this is links, and this is general links class that we can apply to any class, any anchor tag, any links you can see, and it will apply this class, this styles to that link. And it's the same thing. So we need, like, for example, if we have multiple links, okay, let me just make a link. Okay, anybody have any question about what I did just now? Like I
No.
just wrote a dot and something. If you don't know about Emmet, it will be a confusing thing.
Can you show again what did you just do? I mean, I was in the chat, so I did not see.
He
Yeah.
just pasted the link like Emmet thing, you
No.
know.
It's marked.
Okay, that was okay. I got that.
So Emmet is pretty useful. It's a heaven. I mean, it's a great tool for web developers. You should
I
learn it.
lost my internet connection.
It lets you write faster code.
Very
mean,
faster.
It's
You see
kind of
yourself.
like shortcut writing. So
Yeah.
you just wrote the tag, and then for classes you use dot, for IDs you use hash, kind of thing.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm
And for
correct.
example, let's say I want unordered list which is having 5 list
Five
items.
five
Okay.
lists.
Let me just
So
do
you
it.
will be multiplying it with 4 or 5, right?
No. You will list. Oh my
You
god.
just see.
I use multiply thing with lorem iscom.
Okay, great.
No, lorem can be
Simple.
done like this. See this. This is p tag. Okay. And if I want to put lorem, I can use a numeric value just after it that will define the number of words. For example, if I want 20 words,
Yeah, we can multiply it too, no?
I don't know about that, but I use like what do you
Yeah,
need
we
to
can
multiply?
multiply. You can multiply too.
Lorem multiply by 20. Yeah.
Does it look like 20 words? I guess it's 20 lines.
20 lines.
Or
20
Yeah.
lines. 20 lorem.
Yeah, multiply is not a good. I mean, it is just personal stuff, but like I use this thing. I mean, because the number of words is something we need to define for demo text, dummy text, and
Yeah.
yeah. So as you can see, I have made a link, and general links is the class applied to here. So I don't need to give any other style to it, and I can simply just put the stuff. For example, let's say
Sharing template.
the styles are applied on the anchor tag, the link, because we have put the general class on it, general link class on it, and the general link class have the code inside it, so it just applies to it. And it's a pretty good practice to define your common classes that are used, for example links and headings and paragraph and buttons. So all that stuff we will be having basic general classes which will be used everywhere. Okay, it was a quick overview what we have existing. Like we have one image, as you can see, the logo file, this thing, and we have index.html, title, everything is there. So pretty basic we are right now, and we'll be building on top of this whole thing. Okay, we'll be designing the whole layout now. We'll try to everybody's please, like, is requested to share their design ideas. Like you should, this is the task for you, like just try to build a layout.
Okay, like, do we have a DC channel for submitting design, or like where we can
Okay, you can submit it in the assignments, or yeah.
No. Let's do one thing. Create an issue. Maybe I don't know. No, I don't know if it's issue. Maybe a rep on GitHub for design kind of thing, so that people could like maybe share their ideas of that in that repo as a PR. I don't know if it's a good
Okay.
way or
Yeah,
not,
what
but
you're
it's
saying is, yeah, that's okay. I mean, that's for issues, but the better way, the better feature to use is GitHub discussions. Okay.
Yeah.
Or
yes, discussion.
we can have discussions enabled. Is it enabled? No, it's not. Let me enable it. Yeah, discussions, setup discussions, and welcome to Fry the Web discussions. और preview में क्या है? Yeah, cool. Start discussions and party prang. Yeah. See this animation. Okay, so we have
Nice.
created our discussions, and now we can have some discussions here about the UI. Let me make a new discussion for the UI layout. Ideas. Okay, I guess ideas is the good. What should be the title?
For UI or say right. Okay.
Yeah, UI is the same thing like layout,
Yeah.
user interface.
I'm just suggesting.
So everybody can share ideas for website layout. You can share. Okay. Cool. Now we have a discussion. And like we'll try to keep it on GitHub only, maybe, because it's good, because everybody can see what's going on in the GitHub only. Nobody will need to open the Discord and find the channel and
Can
all
you
the discussions.
can you share the link?
Yeah, sure. The discussions link is here. Okay, save this link, everybody, bookmark it or do anything, and just give some time, because we'll be meeting next week and we'll be continuing the development. Because Let's Fly the Web session is on next Friday. On the Fridays when 26th, 27 June, no? When it is? Let me see. Yeah, it's on 30 June. Okay,
30
that's
June,
my
yeah.
sister's birthday. Cool. So on 30 June, we'll be having the Let's Fly the Web Meet 1. After that, we will be maybe moving forward with the development part. Until then, everybody's task is to whatever we have learned, you can revise it or just take a look at it. I have shared the resources. We have shared a lot of resources today. Just take a look at it,
It's
learn
too
it.
much.
Yeah, this is too much. I was not expecting.
It's too much. But everything you shared was quite important and very useful. I mean, actually, the thing is, I'm also doing a lot of front end practice, so it's going to be a lot help, like frontendpractice.com and this Stretchly thing as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything is quite useful.
Yeah, that's good. And we'll be soon starting something like a newsletter or something where we can share all the summarized updates about the community happenings, whatever activity or
Yes.
meeting we are having.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So we'll be starting
We
a
are
newsletter,
starting.
a monthly newsletter, which will contain all the summaries and whatever we have done. Shub will be designing the newsletter and creating the content, and a few things we have in mind and it's going on. Just a prior notice, not notice, like what is called information update, whatever. So
I would say
Shub,
update.
yeah. So we'll be starting that, and then that will all that even summaries and everything will be included, what we have going through and what are the future ideas. So till then, for the next development live coding session, okay, let me just have some feedback of everybody. You all attended this session. Who is there? Akanksha, Ashish, Amul, Gaurav, Learning, Rudraksh, Sarthak, Sart, everybody, Subhadeep, Shubh, SPM, Tejas, Vidya. What is your feedback? Like, how did you Did you learn something? Was this session good?
Yeah, it was great. And
Yes, bhai.
first of all, I yeah, you first.
Definitely
No,
learned a
go,
lot.
go.
Go.
You go first, bro.
So it was a great session. I have learned that I have learned many things, many resources, many things that I don't know about it. I have an opportunity to contribute in it. So great. So Ashish, you next. Come on.
अरे नहीं, मैं बोल रहा था ना कि ये क्या बोलते हैं इधर, CS वेरिएबल के बारे में पता चला और वो रूट के बारे में पता चला आफ्टर बिफोर, ये सब ये CSS में कर रहा था, पर मेरे को कुछ आइडिया नहीं था कि वेरिएबल भी होता है कुछ CSS में। सो इट्स नाइस।
कुछ चीज जब तक करेंगे नहीं तब तक होगा ही नहीं कि जब
मैं
तक
ये होता है ना, मतलब अभी not use it till now. I mean, from where I've been CSS in Leon's class, so I have not used variables and all these things, but I knew about variables and these kind of pseudo classes, etc. So actually, Khar actually told us and have shown us how these things actually work. So it's quite helpful, right? Because when we see things working in front of us, that is how we actually learn. I mean,
We learn
theory is good,
faster.
theory is
Like,
fine.
we learn
faster and easily.
Exactly.
Just like to learn computers.
अरे वैसे एक और बात करनी थी, अगर कोई जावास्क्रिप्ट कर रहा है तो भाई आ जाओ, हम साथ में डिस्कस करेंगे, शायद उसे और थोड़ा फास्ट लर्न कर सकें। कोई कर रहा है जावास्क्रिप्ट? वैसे मैं पूछ रहा हूँ।
नहीं, स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं। मैं
नॉट येट एक्चुअली, मैंने तो अभी नहीं किया स्टार्ट। मतलब मुझे लगता है कि मतलब माय अप्रोच इज टू लाइक finish CSS first. I have a strong CSS and then shift to JavaScript. It's just my approach because as I told in Leon's class and bootcamp of Redux, we haven't completed CSS yet. So that's my approach. But you folks can start learning JavaScript. I mean, even Saurabh is kind of learning JavaScript. If I'm correct, Saurabh. So yeah, I would say, like, if you are done with the CSS part, if you are like comfortable in CSS, then go ahead, start learning JavaScript. So that would be good.
नहीं, मैंने मतलब स्टार्ट कर दिया था जावास्क्रिप्ट और मेरे को कुछ होस्टिंग के बारे में डिस्कस, इसलिए पूछ रहा था।
आशीष, तुमने गिट तुम्हारा में गिट का प्रॉब्लम आ रहा था, मेरा वही डिस्कस करना था गिट का।
और anybody? Akanksha, okay, Sarthak said, I would like to submit a CFP for Friday's session, but I don't have permission to do so. Oh yeah, I just forgot about it. Okay, so the submissions are open. Yeah, because the submissions are closed. Let's enable the permissions now.
अरे उनको open रखो ना, मतलब just keep them open. Why is like that from Tuesday or something like that? Why?
Like, because not clutter the